Welcome, FNUSA57 here. Once again, I'm on my Xbox One today to bring you yet another video. In this guide, I will be showing you how to unlock the Snake loadout skin, or loadout weapon skin set here on Gears 5. It is part of a limited time event called New Map Rumble Part 2. Now, apologies to anyone that was expecting this video earlier. I do try to get these videos up, usually within the first 24 to 48 hours that the event is active. Unfortunately, we had some minor technical difficulties with YouTube, but it should be live with plenty of time for the limited time event if you want to get this weapon skin. And at the end of the video, I will be showcasing the weapon skins as well. So if you want to skip to the end, you're more than welcome to do so. What we have to do in order to get this skin is play the brand new limited time PvP event. Now, note these events usually start on Tuesday afternoons and typically last 1 week or 2 weeks if they're weapon skins. So you want to get these skins as quickly as possible. This event is relatively easy. You have to complete a medal set called the New Map Rumble Part 2. And for this weapon skin set, as far as the medals, you need to complete 5 matches in the New Map Rumble versus event, which is a relatively easy medal to do. Complete the Rumble body count, get 50 eliminations in the New Map Rumble versus event, and you need to win 5 rounds, not games, but rounds, in the New Map Rumble versus event. You also are required to do 50,000 damage in the New Map Rumble versus event, so depending on how good you are, what teams you get, etc., etc., the medal that will probably take you the longest to complete is the Rumble Carnage medal for dealing 50,000 damage. As you can see, I am at 44,000 and change, so we just need 6,000 damage to finish that. And I've only played 5 matches so far, so in theory, you could very easily get all the medals done within 5 games. What you're going to do is go to Versus, go to New Map Rumble, and then search for a lobby. Now, this is a game type that is a combination. There's 2 different modes that you can get. It's 5v5, no bot backfilling, and of course, joining in progress is something that can happen, which can sometimes be exceedingly annoying. But you're either going to have the Capture the Flag game mode, which is pretty much just gridiron with respawns, or you're going to have the Control game mode, which is the slightly more avoidable and slightly more annoying version of King of the Hill. Depending on what you're working on, if you need round wins, then playing the Capture the Flag game mode is easier. If you need damage dealt and elims or kills, whatever, assists, both of those count, then you're going to want to play Control. It's going to be a combination of maps, Dawn, Village, and Ritual, basically the 3 newest maps. Hopefully you get a good server, and hopefully you get good teammates. Unfortunately, there is no guarantee. So depending on what mode you get, play as per normal. I can only offer a few tips when it comes to that, because who knows what you're going to get as far as teammates or enemies. Obviously, if it's Control, the match lasts longer, which that's good for us because we want to get as much damage dealt as possible. So I'll explain the damage dealt a little bit. Damage dealt is basically any damage that you do to an opponent, and an opponent has a total of 600 health. Now, that sounds like a lot, but it's actually not really all that much when you figure the fact that your teammates are probably going to be engaging targets that you're engaging, which means more often than not, you will have only partial damage dealt. Also, it is Gears, so the servers can be a bit buggy, the ping can be a bit buggy, but my best advice is to just attempt to put any amount of damage that you can on an enemy player and at least get the assist. If nothing else, grab the assist. If you can get power weapons and you feel comfortable with power weapons, obviously some of the power weapons are a little easier than others to get kills with. I'm not very good with this new Marxa that they came out with, especially as people like to jitter around. But this weapon can actually get you a bunch of kills if you get headshots with it. So that's 600 damage per kill. Just simply marking your target, even if you do nothing more than just use your snub to add a little bit of additional damage to the target, it all adds up. Thankfully, we can see how much damage we've dealt on the leaderboard screen. Should have had that reloaded. This weapon there's no zoom function with, so hitting that nice crispy headshot can sometimes be easier and sometimes it can be harder. It just depends. A chainsaw is a good way to get the damage because at least you'll get a kill. Of course, obviously the Gnasher and wall bouncing and hitting your shots and hoping that your shots actually fire, all of those things help out. You'll get the most damage if you're getting a kill, but even if you just get a hit marker and get an assist, that is better than nothing. Now, depending on the team that you're playing with, it is entirely possible to have very mismatched lobbies where sometimes it'll be a 3v2, 4v5. One game I had, it was actually a 5v2. So it's very frustrating sometimes. With that being said, just try to focus on getting your damage and your elims because those will probably be the things that take you the longest to get. Other than that, rotate, control power weapons, the same stuff that you guys probably already know. Even something like those shock grenades can be mighty helpful. Obviously, if you have an elite controller, you're going to do better because those damn chainsaw duels are almost impossible to win. But that's one of the reasons why a lot of people choose to pull out the chainsaw, because you can suck somebody in, and sometimes it's a lot easier to get the chainsaw execution than it is to actually get the shotgun kill. But any amount of damage is better than no damage at all. As you've seen there, it was far easier to get the chainsaw on that dude than it was to actually get the shotgun hit on him. But of course, with all the wrap shotting, reach shotting, back A, up A, etc., 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 I really hate fighting with the Gnasher because that's all people do is move like crackheads and shoot around cover. But alas, they keep doing these PvP events. So we needed about 6k damage. You can tell by the leaderboard. I've got 3k right now. We're not going to do very well here. It's just one of those things. I got a kind of bad game here in terms of opponents. They're not going to be very easy to kill since they're going to be jittering all over the fucking place. There's that damn Marxa, which, again, you just don't want to let the opponents control the power weapons. However, there's only so much one player can do. And, of course, at distances, sometimes just using your snub is more effective than using your Lancer because the recoil spread on the Lancer is fairly extreme. But it's also pretty important to make sure you mark targets. If you can mark a target and do some damage to them, at least your allies will know where your target is, and then more than likely, because of the spawn, some asshole is going to come up behind you. As you can probably tell, I utterly hate dealing with the PvP in Gears 5. I used to love the PvP on the older Gears games, but I absolutely hate it on Gears 5. Not sure how I survived that. But it's going to be a 2v1, and, you know, the chances of you surviving the 2v1 are just non-existent. So that's why we're focusing on damage. I'm glad that it's only 50,000 damage. Usually they put out a medal that requires like 70 to 100,000 damage, and those are just ridiculous. Also, I'm not a really big fan of Ritual as a map. There's a ton of cover for people to jitter around. Just my opinion, of course, though. I know some people that really love PvP are like, oh, it's the best thing ever. You can move like a crackhead. And I'm just like, no, it's the worst thing ever. So we just had our little medal pop up that said that we got the completion, which is awesome. At least we got that. Again, 2v1s there. You're not really going to win. Or at least you don't have a good chance of winning. So these control matches, obviously the game mode takes a while. It can take a really, really long while to finish. So once you have your medals done, or if you're in a bad lobby, you're going to have to consider whether you want to stay in the game or not. That's an example right there of the ridiculous ping, where you notice that on my end, I fired, but even though my weapon made the sound of the shot being fired on the opponent's screen, the shot was never fired at all. So just another big problem with the inconsistencies in this game, and the reason why I can't stand playing it. At least not the versus. But hopefully you'll get easy matches and you'll be able to finish these very annoying things relatively quickly. If you can, great. If you can't, well, yeah, that's gonna make your life a bit of a headache. Like this dude, I just can't land a shot on. I don't know if it's my ping or what. My ping's only 59, so that's actually not bad as far as ping is concerned. But since we have everything that we need, you have two choices, and that's something that you do have to try and figure out what you want to do. You need to figure out if you're going to be leaving the lobby or staying in the lobby. See, just look at that. Like, I already chainsawed that opponent, and then I got insta-gibbed by the shotgun. Like, after I had halfway finished the chainsaw. And that opponent, I just can't simply win the chainsaw duel against, no matter how fast I smash the B button. So, as I said, bunch of bullshit, can't stand it, glad it's over. But you have to make a decision as to whether you're going to stay in the match, or if you're going to go ahead and leave the match and try to find a new match. Now, the problem with leaving the match and trying to find a new match is most of the time, because of the limited player base, you end up back in the same match that you just left. So here is our loadout set for the snake skin. And we're going to go ahead and back out of that and show it off. Now, this is the first time in a very long time that they have done a reward that only rewarded a portion of the entire weapon skin set. I don't know why they chose to do it this way. Honestly, I think it's kind of retarded. But more than likely, there's probably going to be some other events in the future that will continue to drip feed portions of this particular weapon skin set out. So if you want the full set, keep your eyes on my channel, keep your eyes on the Gears 5 news, and wait and see what other events they're going to release in order to get these weapon skins. So looking at the skins, let's take a look at exactly what we got. We only got, I think, 4. No, we got 5, sorry. So we have the Lancer, which, let's go ahead and equip the skin so I can showcase it as soon as I can find it here. I have a ton of weapon skins. Alright, there's her skin. That's why we had a little bit of trouble finding it. It is only actually a blue skin, so it's way down at the bottom. And as you can see, it kind of looks like a leafy bush with a golden snake of some kind, some sort of golden viper or something of that nature. Not exactly my favorite weapon skin, but it does look cool the way they did the snake. So if it was animated, that would be super awesome, but that snake does look cool, so that's the Lancer. And then we have the Gnasher, because it's part of the loadout set. The Snub Pistol, because that, once again, is part of the loadout set. The Boltok Pistol. Again, the Boltok is, I guess, classed as a loadout weapon. And last but not least, the Talon Auto Pistol, which is also classed as a loadout weapon. So you only get those 5 weapon skins, and I don't know exactly when the next event will come out to drop another set of those skins, but that is at least how you get the Snake loadout weapon skin set. Keeping in mind that if you do want to put yourself through the agony of the event, you will only get the loadout weapon skin set, so that means you're going to have to do something else in the future to get the rest of the skins. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you smash the like button on it, as it greatly helps me out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Until next time, subscribe for more content, and most importantly, stay frosty.